Test.
Just a second.
Okay.
Let me get the general stream link here. Live video stream.
Cold?
Yeah, I'm always cold.
Yeah, no, me too. Not so bad right
Okay, I see your desktop right now.
How about now?
Okay, I see your desktop.
now.
Sound works.
Sound works. Test the.
Yeah. Okay, that's not right. Why is it? Oh, okay, I see
Yeah,
what's.
you have to click into
Yeah.
what you're doing.
Oh, okay, I see what's.
You have to click into what you're doing. Eating. I mean, we know it works.
Mhm.
Do you think anybody will come?
Are you kidding?
So I'm not quite sure how to get it out of this presenter mode because it's projecting. Let's see here.
Oh, you know, they might have done two screen or something before. Do you think they did that?
What for a Ustream?
Yeah. Well, so the problem is what? You're in here. We
Well,
see that.
when I
I've got the key and the code. So do we need to set up the camera?
We do not need the camera. It might be nice to have the microphone.
Okay.
If the microphone can feed. Hi. So
when I do this, puts the slideshow normally up there, but it's gives my screen here. So
So I'm wondering if you have to run it in.
maybe if I turn mirror displays on.
You know who knows?
Who?
McCusker. Get McCusker down here.
All right.
Maybe I don't think Evan knows. Oh, Evan, did you present from your machine last time? No, you didn't want to do that because of the right. But Cusker, that's who we need.
Mm-hmm.
What about the accent problem? Is that a separate one? The accent problem? Well, for the URI. I thought that was what we were actually talking about. But switch gears.
Well, first batch, just assume everything exists in your realm.
Make them all have their instance every time. At least something like that.
So I'm you can just send an error if you can't find it.
Well, I'm sending string. So I just need to send it back as.
No.
So I'm sending the blocks as a string. So I can break them up into substrings. Or list.
He's finishing up.
And then each element of the list.
Figure it out yet?
Not yet. Well, I can swap the displays, but that doesn't really.
But if, like, for example, the object of a triplet is an expression, not a URI. I have to pre-process it.
So let's see.
Hmm.
Yeah, if it's like a multi-use sum or something, I have to like pre-process and break that up into sums. Or lists or something.
But then it's not URI, so we know.
So on the Ustream manager.
Yeah, but there could be URIs
Yeah.
in that expression. It's almost like I need like an actual RAM for this or something. Some sort of translator. But it's also ugly that we can't do
You know how you can select different things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering
Like, I
if
need to
it's
pass
possible
back
to
the
have.
the client
Um,
aware that these things
Like,
are
is it possible to
we can
have
just put it all to a
Well,
stream.
this
full
is
screen, the full the what? Well, can you do something like that?
well.
But
Oh,
instead,
oh,
there's all
Let's see if
kinds
this
of
does it.
JavaScript libraries for
do it.
client-side RDF processing.
Now does it?
You can just pull on the time.
Yeah,
we go.
yeah,
Good.
all right.
Excellent.
Good job. Just leave it there.
Right.
Good job. That's the deal. Hi.
Or you have browser from.
Hi. Hello. Nice to see you. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
What's a
It's
browser?
interesting, so I thought I would come.
It's, yeah.
We
but
all
it's-
are
it's a
interested.
plugin for
Yeah,
Firefox.
this is
They're
really
using
looked at.
JavaScript. Just pull up. They have a JavaScript parser for
Yeah.
RDF.
It's really,
Just need to
it's
pull
really
that file.
exciting because we
Oh, it's part of
two
the project. So if I
Oh,
download the
really?
project,
Wow, excellent. So just kind of worked out. I was like, wait a minute, I can use this here. Yeah. I realized my brain was silent. I was always curious about the ontology evaluation thing, and I thought this was really interesting. So I'm like, oh, yes, I should show up. Good, nice to see you. Yeah.
Hi, James.
Hello?
Can you try whether this battery works?
Sure.
for the-
Well, are you using the?
No. I'm just trying to. If that works.
Well, it fits.
I bet they take libraries, public libraries, traditionally before the internet, you always had paper fax forms,
Now you're probably going to have to select
Can you?
How's it going?
select the microphone.
Yeah. Can you try? Can you try with our Skype or?
actually. I'll
So-
do this, but I think you.
Oh, congratulations. That's exciting. Oh, that is really close to where I live. Mhm. Yep, I live.
Can you try the mic?
Oh, just speak into it.
Do you have yeah
There we go.
yeah can you try the sound sound probably the sound in the input
We only have one car now, so I walk like every day. I prefer it too, but I was also kind of lazy. But
intern okay there's okay that's the output, so you don't have an input, right?
Well,
I think that's for the output. That's
But I used to go with the approach, but that's just too much. I mean, it would be really good for me cardiovascular, but it feels so
Is it working?
Because it's just. So do you go to the farmer's market all the time?
Doesn't look like it's detecting the external mic.
You think so?
Well, take a look.
is there the door?
Well, the external mic isn't listed on the devices.
It's a time delay ventriloquist.
The external mic isn't listed on the devices.
That's a long time to
It's going to go across the internet.
Oh, really?
I mean, it seems to be. I mean, maybe Jim remembers how do you turn on the external mic. He figured out how to do the screen thing.
Okay.
It's a device thing.
Yes.
Well, that's one of the reasons.
The external mic, oh. We didn't use,
Oh well, that's not plugged in all the way. What the? You're.
That's the output.
Yeah, that's output,
Yeah,
not input.
Oh,
so
that's
we need to
output.
have.
Yeah, so
You may not have an input.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can borrow the 17-inch mic here. I think
Well,
that's
you need to
an
move all. We did need to move all the slides over.
Okay.
The internal mic worked pretty well when we used it.
Okay. Yeah.
So I mean,
And we
just make sure you're standing by the laptop when you speak,
okay,
and make sure you project as much as you can.
all right.
So like when we're, like I'm speaking now and there's plenty of signal going on there. So just make sure that there's about that much.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll put this away.
Yeah. Done and done. I'm glad I could help.
I said you could still use, that's gonna weigh one way or the other. I was lured in by the excellent description of this. Got a lot going on in the library, so. Okay, so we're gonna do just one way or the other.
So Jane, I think the best way to do this would be to introduce the three of us, and then I guess.
plan is, yeah.
Okay, good.
Can I make the names bigger so I can, I'll read them here. I'll read them here. That's good, that's fine. I'm still, it's funny because I'm on, it's actually, is John gonna do the, like, the,
Not sure. I think we're fine either way.
so are we now live?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
James, when you start to talk, please restart the recording.
It should be recording now, but let me check.
George said it's not.
It says it's recording on the. Do you want to see this?
Okay.
Have you seen Ustream Produce before?
he just ran away with the camera.
Oh.
Stand by. I feel like we should be doing that old TV test pattern, you know? Countdown. Stand by. Delayed. Are you starting or who's starting?
Hmm?
Who's starting?
I believe either.
So Joanne, we should get things started, and
Yes.
it's gonna come in about 10 minutes.
Okay. So are you gonna do your usual?
I'll do a little bit. I'll let
Yeah,
you
no,
do mostly.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, just-
Are we live?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
but
are.
with the camera
Oh.
disappeared.
Yes, we're not doing a video camera. We're
Oh,
doing live
okay.
off of the desktop. So put your
Okay.
thing up. All right. So, thank you. Welcome to tonight's TWeD. Hold on for a second. We got a very special one. This was put together. I want to thank this evening's presenters for putting together what's going to be an excellent program on fairly short notice. I want to thank Joanne for coming up with this idea. The one thing I want to say, we're nearing the end of the term. We've got 2 more TWeDs. The next one is by Evan immediately following spring break, I believe. And What's that?
You passed spring break, yeah.
Spring break was a few weeks ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We didn't get a break, see?
Yeah, well.
Well, we
okay.
did from you guys.
So we've-
Traveling, so.
Right, so check the schedule. We've got Evan presenting on creating semantic web apps using MIT's App Inventor. And then the final TWeD will be lightning talks. And I will be sending out within the next couple days the first reminder to get to start signing up for lightning talks.
I think Evan's speaking on the 24th.
Evan's speaking on the 24th, and then the week following will be our end of semester lightning talks, and we'll have the rules. Talk to somebody who's been here for at least a year if you don't know what the lightning talks are. And without any further ado, Joanne will introduce this.
So hi, I'm Joanne Luciano, a research professor here at the TEDless World Constellation at Rensselaer Polytech Institute, and I've been consulting on an ontology development over at SUNY Albany, and also doing some work on ontology evaluation. And I realized that these two projects really dovetailed very nicely. And so we started using the evaluation methodology to start formalizing a semantic web methodology and using it for developing the ontology for the iChoose project, which you'll be hearing about. So tonight, I'm going to be stepping aside and letting the students who are doing the work describe it to you. So we'll be hearing from James McCallis, who's a graduate student, PhD student here at the TEDless World Constellation, or PI. Nick DiPaolo, graduate student at SUNY Albany, and Gyoko Sayogo, also a graduate student at SUNY Albany. And it's been absolutely a blast to work on these projects with this group. And without further ado, I'll let them tell you about it.
Okay, so we're going to be covering the following things in this talk. First off, we'll be covering over a case study system we at the TEDless World have been working with the Center for Technology and Government at SUNY Albany on, called iChoose. From there, we will give an overview of some of the core concepts oriented toward iChoose, namely something known as sustainability certification, where we track for different consumer products whether or not different producers in their supply chains are meeting certain standards, which would be of interest to a consumer. From there, we will get into some specifics about an ontology evaluation methodology, which is being used currently in iChoose and will be generalized to other projects in the future. We will get into some specifics on how Jeff is being potentially deployed within the context of iChoose, and then we'll get into some details on how data provenance is employed within Jeff as a design principle. So now we have some details here on iChoose. I think it'd be appropriate maybe if one of you could.
Was it?
If one of you could give some details on iChoose.
Okay. All right. Good evening. My name is Joko Sigit-Sayoko. I'm a graduate assistant at CTG, Center for Technology and Government. So my role here is to tell a little bit of story about what is iChoose and how iChoose is originated from. And then next we'll talk more about how is iChoose ontology and how Jeff is applied in iChoose. So iChoose originated from a concern over information asymmetry in the marketplace. If we look at the classical economic theory, that price is no longer reflecting all of the necessary information for a consumer to make a credible purchase decision. Due to this information asymmetry, for instance, if we compare between these 4 different products, we see that in the left side, this product price is $9.58, and it's because it's a gold standard and it's full organic certification. The one on the right side is product from Starbucks. It's $9.34 because it's certified by Starbucks' own certification called Cafe Practice. Next to Starbucks is Some Choice, Walmart internal product, and it's certified by Fairtrade. The price is $8. But next to Some Choice is Folgers, and Folgers have the lowest price, $2.49, because it doesn't have any certification at all. So aside from the product quality and company reputation and stuff like that, the extent of information put in a product packaging influence the price offerings by a company. But the problem with relying for a consumer, the problem with relying only on the product packaging information, especially on certification, they have tons of certification available out there. So for instance, Ecolabel Index claimed to track about 432 certification and Ecolabel, which basically dilute the meaning behind certification and label. So consumer might ask a question such as which certification I should trust. When he or she goes to the supermarket and faced with all different products with different labels, which one this consumer should trust, and how this consumer will know that the product that he or she choose is not form of greenwashing, a marketing initiative pretending to be green, or which criteria that this certification is following, or whether the information in the product packaging is actually trustworthy, etc. So based on this problem domain, the vision of iChoose is to create interoperable data network across the organization in the supply chains. We are focusing specifically on the sustainable certified coffee product to provide trusted information to the end consumer so that end consumer can make informed purchasing decision that will reflect their values. So basically, iChoose is a project in CDG funded by NSF and also CONACYT from Mexico. The objective is to build data architecture to support ethical consumption, and it will specifically focus at the beginning on sustainable certified coffee product. So what I mean by sustainable certified coffee product is that coffee product that is certified by a third-party certification promoting environmental and social justice. And it will be focusing on the coffee product that is produced in Mexico and consumed and distributed in Canada and the US. So iChoose itself consists of a mix of different team of researcher with mixed skill and expertise. We will know with this team of researcher, I think at the end of the slide. And it has at least two components in it. First is the set of data standard to enable sharing of information across the organization and the supply chains. And the other one is a policy recommendation and governance system so that these standards are not being used by some certain interests who are not reflecting what is the vision of iChoose at the first place. So this is the envision application of iChoose at the beginning. So what we're trying to do is to build a data architecture that enable a consumer advocate to better trace and extract information across the organization and the supply chains. So if the consumer advocate have better information, they could provide better information to the consumer, and the consumer can have better information to make better choices. For instance, in current condition, one consumer advocate such as Good Guide, what they do in their methodology is that whenever product is certified, either by any certification, they will give this product a high value. So regardless of the certification, the consumer advocate, due to the inability to trace back all of the information across the supply chains, they will assign the high value on any certification. So because we talk about certification, I guess, do you want to bring this? Or Nick will explain a little bit more what is meant by certification and sustainability certification. Oops.
Okay. So you'll want to be near the mic here.
Hello, everybody. Okay, so to continue here, this slide helps clarify how the certification system works. And so the certification system generally consists of two entities, a standard setter and a certification body. One example of a standard setter, and the example we have been using and focusing on, is called Fair Trade International. It's a company, it's a nonprofit institution, and they create the standards or the criteria, the list of criteria, as well as managing the label initiative, which means that they manage the standards that products or production processes have to abide by to receive the particular label of Fair Trade International. And the standards are usually things like, does the production process, does the farm comply with things like child labor, pesticide usage of some kind, which is important, for example, for the organic certification. In the case we're focusing on fair trade, so things like wages and child labor are actually very important and emphasized in these standards. And there's also in the certification system, there's a certification body, and the certification body conducts or helps conduct the certification itself, that is the inspection of the production process or the inspection of the product. And usually what they do is they interpret the standards into more operational control points, or what they usually call compliance criteria. So an applicant wishing to receive the fair trade certification, there are many of them, this is just one, will be evaluated against a list of criteria that was undertaken by an inspector auditor appointed by FlowCert, which is the certification body. And the result will be used. So once that inspector goes to the farm, they have a little the criteria to follow. They mark things off, and if the farm, for example, passes all, comply to all the criteria, they will get the label, which is something like this. This is actually the Fair Trade label, Fair Trade International label, and you can put that on your product, and raise the price by a very high amount. This here was an attempt to model this kind of entire the processes of the certification system in an ontology sort of way. I think we still have to work on the entire model. So, but the point is that we are focusing now on this part here: the standard and the compliance requirement, and the characteristics of the compliance requirements. Okay, so I think we're gonna. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions? Maybe I should about how this works. Okay, so I think we'll cover now.
Well,
yes.
Yeah, I think maybe I'll deal with this sort of actionable verification. You've got the certifying body. So it's
Yeah.
all so far.
Maybe.
Everything's been about assertion. Okay, everything. It's been about the vendor wanting to present that they are certified. And
Yes.
how that's modeled. Are you
Yeah.
going to talk about how a consumer could actually check with a certifying authority whether to verify whether a particular product is actually certified, or
I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
Consumer cannot do that. They cannot verify whether they have to believe in the label itself. So if the label is attached in the product, the assumption is that this product is certified by this certification. But there is no way to actually trace down all this information.
And that's what this project does.
Right, okay.
That's what we're
good.
trying to do. Yeah.
Good.
That's what the project enables.
Segue, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
There
That's
you
why
go.
we have
And-
an expert in here also.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll continue on this, but I think we're going to include the Jeff here in between sessions to understand how we may develop this ontology and evaluate it as we go.
So, to give you a general idea of why we may need a system like Jeff, let's first ask a very basic question which has nothing to do with certification. What exactly is the concept of an elephant? So this is a slide that Joanne gave us to put in here, which helps to illustrate that different conceptualizations of an elephant may exist in the world. So they may be very simple. They may there may be riding elephants, very abstract ones, and so on. So the idea in general of Jeff is that we would do reviews of ontologies in two stages. First off, by taking a formalism of a use case for using an ontology, we would recast it into a set of components designed to illustrate what the functional objectives of the use case are, and in general, what design objectives would be required for the ontology, so that would be reviewed